everyone, this is Nidhi from Designhill, your host for today. I hope you guys are doing great and staying safe. Welcome to yet another session with Designhill, which will help you hone your knowledge and do better in your professional life. So, today we are discussing different customer service and social distancing. Today's event is brought to you by Designhill, the world's leading creative marketplace that caters to the creative needs of businesses and individuals alike, who can source high quality designs from professional designers and buy unique products created by independent artists. So, moving ahead, let me introduce our speaker for today. We have with us Sara Odorizio. Sarah is a freelance trainer. Sarah dedicatedly helps people gain the skills they need to succeed in their professional life by encouraging them to enjoy learning through fun and practical courses. With over 10 years of experience in customer service in luxury environments, including five-star hotels, Sarah created Hodos training so she can help people develop their customer services, sales, and time management skills and be excellent with their job. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us today for this amazing workshop. Would you like to say a quick hi to the audiences?
Hi, Nedi. Thank you so much for the introduction and thank you for inviting me here today. Yes, I want to say hi to everyone that is tuning in live today. I can see that everyone is writing from where they are tuning in. Feel free to write some comments along the broadcast or feel free to ask some questions. Nedi will pick some questions at the end of the session when we will have the Q&A. So, thank you everyone again for being here. As Nedi said, I'm Sarah and I'm from Hodos Training. And today we will talk about a very interesting and current topic, which is customer service and social distancing. So why did I pick up this subject today?
Sarah?
Yes.
Yes. So before we do that, I have a couple of announcements to make, and we will have ample time to start over. And the session is all yours. But let me quickly make a few announcements and tell a little more about Designal. Another 50 seconds maybe, and then we can start with the session. So, guys, before we start the
Absolutely.
session, you know the drill. We are giving away certificates for the attendees who will stick till the end of the session. You just can't miss this chance. Please stay tuned till the end. Also, do take a screenshot of this event, put it on your Twitter, use hashtag Designhill Events, tag Designhill DH, and Sarah's handle, which will be there in the chat box in a minute. One lucky winner will have a chance to win a print shop gift card worth $50. Having said that, let's quickly look at what Designhill is all about.
Need to get your parents off your back? Head to the world's #1 creative marketplace, Designhill.
When I started my photography business, I needed something that said this was more than just a hobby. It's not a hobby, Mom. That's why I went to Designhill and got an amazing logo super fast at a price I could afford. The process was easy using Designhill's logo maker. Just enter the name of your business, then pick out a number of designs that inspire you. I'll pick this one and that one looks cute. Then pick your colors or let the system decide. Add some more info like a slogan, the industry your business is in, and your budget. The logo maker, using machine learning and artificial intelligence, will design thousands of logo variants that you can choose from and adapt. In fact, I was able to get everything from business cards to t-shirt design and complete social media kit, all with the click of a button. With that, I'm all set. Now everyone I meet knows I'm a legit photographer. Even my mom. It's real. That's decaf.
Let the world know it's real and build your brand with Designhill.
All right. That was all about Designhill. We will be taking up questions towards the end. So, guys, please ask your questions in the questions tab. And Sarah, over to you completely now. You can start.
Thank you so much, Nedi. So as I was saying, we will talk about customer service and social distancing. And today will be a bit different. So I will write on the whiteboard. I will share also a presentation. So we will do a mix of visuals. And I was saying that I choose to talk about customer service because even if customer service is one of the most important aspects of a company, it's often neglected, forgotten, left aside. And especially during the pandemic, COVID-19 has been used as an excuse for delivering poor customer service. I hope you can see my board clear enough. So if at the beginning of the pandemic, of course, customers understood what companies were going through, the struggle that they were going through because of a new situation for everyone. Now that it's been over a year, customers are really tired of hearing these excuses of waiting over the phone, like on hold for ages, just to get few simple questions answered, or for a long delivery when they order some goods or when they order something. So if before businesses could use this excuse, and now customers are tired. And according to the UK Customer Service Institute, many businesses are being accused of using COVID, the pandemic, as an excuse. Customers are very tired to hear this. And just to give you some numbers, customer service complaints hit their highest levels in the past 6 months since 2009. So it's been since 2009 that we had this very poor level of customer service, something that we've never seen before. So companies have to really work hard to retain their customers, to win new customers, to make sure that customers do business with them. And a great way to do that is building rapport with your customers. So we'll share my screen and we'll share a presentation with you so we can go through the steps of building rapport with your customers. Should be able to see my screen in a moment.
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, perfect. So let me start from the beginning. Here you go. Are you able to see my presentation?
Yes, and I want to ask attendees as well. Yes, can you give us a quick yes in case? All right, it can be seen.
Perfect. So
All
let's
right.
go ahead. So building rapport. What is building rapport? Building rapport is when you have this bond of trust and loyalty with your customers. And you don't only have to create a relationship, but it's also about maintaining a positive relationship with your customers. So let's go and see why it's very important. It's important because it will make it easier to deal with your customers' inquiry. It will be easier to solve their problems. For sure, you will have less complaints once you know your customers and they trust you. And you will for sure be able to sell more, close more sales. So the first step that I'm going to talk about today is first impression. So first impression, making a good first impression with your customers, is very important. So remember to smile, have eye contact. Your appearance has to be good. You have to have a clean uniform, no dirty fingernails. Remember to have your hair combed. Appearance is very important. And if you're not seeing your customers face to face, also the posture that you have is very important. So I see a lot of people like slouching on the chair when they work in call centers, putting their heads on their hand, and the customers can feel if we're not smiling over the phone, if our posture is not straight, is not correct. We will also be less willing to talk to our customers if we are in a slouched position. But also making a good first impression is also about the place where you work. Imagine customers coming to the building where you work, to your workplace, and the place is to be clean, is to be neat. Let me show you some pictures that I've taken even recently with dead plants in front of entrances, dirty places. Customer will think that you don't care about them if you don't care about the place where you work. So have a look at these pictures, guys. These are pictures that I've taken. Look at these dead plants. Look at this ashtray. This was taken at a restaurant. If a customer come to your restaurant and they see this on the table, they will not be wanting to have lunch or dinner with you. And again, here you go. This is the entrance of a 5-star hotel. I've taken this like recently, a few weeks ago. It's horrible for customers. And look at this picture. It says, no parking, doors in constant use, but weed is growing on the door. It looks shabby, it looks dirty. So take care of your appearance. And the second step will be communication. Communicating with your customer is very important. But how do you communicate? You remember to be polite, to say, good morning, this is Sarah from Hodos Training. How may I assist you? Instead of being, hello, how can I help? Remember to mention your name. Your customers will know who they are dealing with. And you can ask for their name as well. It's very important. And something that I hear very often is the use of jargon. Don't use jargon, guys, because your customers will not understand. Like when I was working in a hotel, I could hear many people saying, have you left your D&D sign on, which stands for do not disturb. But customers were not understanding most of the time. So your customers need to be able to understand what you're saying. And I also see this when I go and see doctors. Doctors use this medical jargon that patients cannot understand most of the times because, of course, they don't have a medical degree. So make sure you use simple words that your customer can understand. The third step in building rapport is get to know your customers. So what do I mean by that? Meaning that when you talk to your customers, make the dialogue meaningful. Don't just go around and like do like an exchange, have an exchange of random words, random sentences, just because you have to serve them. Make sure that you have a small chat with them. Say, good morning, how can I help you? Good morning, my name is Sarah. How may I assist you today? Engage in a little conversation. Start to talk to them. They will start opening with you and they will be more eager to talk to you about what they need so that you can deliver great service to them. If you are unsure what they need, ask them some questions. As I said, the customer will be very happy because you're taking an interest in them. And the fourth step in building rapport is, of course, listening. So if you have started to talk to your customers, then they start to talk to you, they start to answer your questions. It's time for you to stop talking and start listening. What do I mean by that? Active listening is when you don't talk completely. So when you let your customer talk without interrupting them. Why is this very important? First of all, because it's rude to interrupt people while they're talking. And second, because even though you might know what the customer is about to ask you, what is the customer is about to complain about, you are not sure 100% about how the entire conversation will go. What if they have to ask you other questions or if they want to ask you about something different? So don't interrupt them. Let them finish their sentence. Don't judge them. Don't try to make assumptions about what they are trying to tell you. I know it's very difficult. Our brain tries to recreate patterns. So if the brain picks up on something that we have heard before, tries to give a quick and immediate solution, but resist the urge and let the customer finish the sentence. And then let's talk about the fifth step, which is understanding. This is, again, very, very important. And if you have done the listening bit, if you have done the active listening bit very well, now you will be able to understand what the customer is saying, what the customer is asking you, or what is the customer is complaining about, so you can find a solution for them. This is the stage where the customer is giving you very important information. And don't be scared if you did not understand what your customer is asking you, if you're not understanding the situation. Ask some questions. Don't wait for the customer to repeat itself. Ask them some questions so you can gather informations and give them a solution. And this is an extra tip that I want to give you. Don't sabotage the conversation because you want to sell your customer something. What do I mean by that, you may ask? So sometimes your customer might call you to complain about something, and let me give you an example. Let's say that you work in a television store and a customer calls to complain about a broken TV. Maybe all she wants to hear about is if her television can be fixed. She wants to know if her television can be fixed and how long will it take to fix it. But some people hear, okay, the TV is broken, she needs a new TV. There you go, it's a sale opportunity. But if your customer is calling to complain about something, the last thing that they will want is you trying to sell them something, trying to sell them a new television. So don't sabotage the conversation. Try to listen and understand what the customer is really asking you. Which brings me to the sixth step here, which is empathy. So when we are empathizing with our customers, it means that we are putting ourselves into their shoes. Means that we're trying to understand how they're feeling. Are they feeling angry? Are they frustrated about something? Are they scared about something? So understanding how our customers are feeling, making them understand that we know how they're feeling. So acknowledging their feelings by saying something like, I understand, ma'am, that you're scared about this situation. If it's about social distancing, they might be scared about security. They might not feel safe. So you could say something like, I'm scared about, I understand that you're scared, or I understand that you don't feel safe in this situation. I would feel the same if I were in the same situation. So let me see how I can help you or how I can find a solution for you. And this is going to be very important to gain that level of trust and loyalty from your customers. So let me stop sharing my screen so we can pass to the second section. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, you should be able to see me right now. Is all good, Nadi?
Yes, we have maximized your screen and we can see you and the whiteboard very well.
Perfect. That's brilliant. So let's move to the second section here, which is making your customers feel secure. So we're talking about customer service and social distancing. This is going to be very, very important. So as I said, building rapport will start to create that bond, that trust. But because COVID is still a significant risk, your customers will want more to start and do business with you, to keep continuing to do business with you. So risk will always be in front of your customer's mind when they decide where to do their shopping, where to buy their groceries, which restaurants to go to when they're going for dinner or lunch, or which hotel to spend their vacation with their families. They want to feel safe. And this is an extra step that is going to be very important for you to win and retain your customers. So customers need to be reassured that you are taking all the necessary steps, all the measurements, all the measurements that the government wants you to put in place. They are in place and you are committed to keep your customers safe. So I will give you 3 tips to reassure your customers and making them feel secure at all times. And the first one is sharing. So what do you need to share to make your customer feel secure? First of all, share what are the safety measures that you put in place. So a lot of businesses, when reopening, before they reopen, they had some safety measures in place that now with new restriction or restriction being lifted, had to change. So share whatever you put in place to make your customer feel safe. If you have social distancing in place in some areas of your property or your premises, share if your staff is wearing PPE, which is personal protective equipment, if they're wearing masks or if they're wearing gloves where they work, if there are sanitizer stations around. So share all of this with your customers so that they will feel much safer. And what else can you do? If you have, if you can put some posters on the main door of your premises or windows. This will show customers that you're taking a real commitment in keeping them safe. And so I will pop this here. as posters. So people passing by, they can see and they can decide to enter in your restaurant or in your bar or cafe or hairdresser. And the last thing is actually an extra tip. This is something that will make your customers feel secure even more, is if you have done any risk assessment to keep your business COVID safe, share that with your customers. They will see that you are following the government guidelines as well. So risk assessment, if you have done it, share it with your customers. And I'm going through all of this very quickly so that we can keep it in the 1 hour, 45 minutes for this webinar. But this is part of a bigger course that I do about customer service and social distancing. If you want to know more, I'm sure Neddy will share my website. You will find all the information about my courses, which are half day, 1 day, like even longer courses. So let's go to the second part. So the second tip that I can give you is to have a clear communication with your customers. So what do you have to communicate to make them feel safe? First of all, communicate what is expected of them when they come to your premises. So if they have to wear a mask when they enter, if they have to keep social distancing in certain places, if you have, let's say, some restrictions in place at your premises, or if you have some reduced service to keep them even safer. I remember there was this spa where I went to book my facial treatment. And when I received the email of confirmation from the beautician, right at the bottom, there was a list of things that they were expecting me to do when I was going there. Like I had to wear a mask when I was entering, but then of course I could remove it for my treatment to receive my face massage. And I had to put all of my belongings in a bag that was provided by them so that my items, in case they were contaminated, they were not going to touch the other customers' item that were in the spa. So this was very good for me. So I arrived to the spa already prepared. And how can you communicate this? As I said, via email. You can communicate this on your website. We'll put here website, email. Why it's very important? It's very important because, first of all, there will be no misunderstanding with your customers. They will know exactly what to do when they come and stay at your hotel or dine at your restaurant. There is something here in the UK which is called track and trace, and it's done by hotels, restaurants, hairdresser, every kind of establishment, because so what they ask you is for your name and last name. They ask you for your home address, and they ask you for your phone number when you go there as a customer. Why? It's because if while you're there, while you are at the restaurant or hotel, they discover that some customers resulted positive to COVID, they will contact you immediately, so you can take the necessary precautions. You can take some tests, so then you need to self-isolate, but they have to contact you in these cases. But I know that many people don't like to leave their phone number, their home address. So imagine a customer coming to your hotel, which is not aware of this track and trace policy, and they don't want to give you these details. What are you going to do? Are you going to not let the customer in, saying, okay, or you give me your details so you can't stay with us? Or the second option is letting them in and stay with you anyway, which at that point, your customer will say, what was that? Why are you asking me for details if then you don't even need them? So in both situations, your customer will be frustrated and the experience won't start on the right foot. So make sure that there are no misunderstandings, no surprises. And as I said, with this, you can avoid even many more complaints. Which brings me to my last tip here, which is flexibility. So Flexibility, it's very, very important. I'm sure that your business put some new ways of working in place during the pandemic, maybe offering services online, maybe offering to deliver groceries to your customers. Make sure that when you are reopening, you keep these options open for your customers. This is going to be very, very important for them. Why? Because many customers may feel that they are more vulnerable. They are still afraid to go around and going to restaurants, going to shops, and be surrounded by people. So make sure that you leave these options open even after many restrictions will be lifted, because those vulnerable customers will really appreciate, will feel that you're caring about them and you value them. And keep your policies also flexible, especially cancellation policies. And I want to tell you the story about my holiday in Italy. So I recently went to Italy. This was in July, and I wanted to spend a couple of days away with my parents, a few days, let's say, with my parents. And I was booking from the UK, where I am, from London, and all the places, all the hotels, bed and breakfast that I was checking out, they all had a very like long cancellation policies. So if you were not canceling before 10 days before your arrival date, some of them was 2 weeks before the arrival date, they were charging you the entire stay, and that was not refundable. So imagine me as a customer, I didn't want to book such places, because if there were going to be some more restrictions for flights to go from the UK to Italy, or if something was going to happen and we had to cancel the holiday, we were going to lose the entire deposit. And of course, we're not going to be happy about losing money. So for the rest of your customers, this will be the same. If they will see that if they cancel, they will not get any refund, but they will get charged for everything, they might decide not to book with you. They might decide to book somewhere else where they have more flexible policies. So being flexible is very important to, as I said, keep your options open, to make your customers see that your cancellation policies are flexible. And now we are going to talk about the third section. So I think that everybody is wondering about what is this MMFI. So in many places, this is what I hear most of the times. Businesses think that because they have a great product, it's fine. They don't need to deliver great services, because customers need their product, they crave their product. But this is not true. Customers will give your product for granted, and you don't have to give your customers for granted just because you have a great product. As I said, customers will give your product for granted. If I stay at a hotel, I will give for granted that my room will be clean when I arrive, there will be fresh linen on the bed, that the lights will work. But what I will really judge the hotel on will be the service that I receive from the staff, will be the way that the staff of the hotel treats me. So customer judge you based on the customer service that they will receive from you. And this is very important, guys. Customers will not judge you, will not compare you to your direct competitors. So let's say that your hotel in London, they will not compare you to the other hotels that are in London, but they will compare you to the best hotel experience that they have ever had in their life. It sounds very challenging, but it's true. Customers nowadays want to feel valued. And so what this stands for is make me feel important. Customers want to feel valued, want to feel important, want to feel that you care about them. And here I will give you a few tips on how to make your customers feel important. So the first one, the first step that you can take is, of course, personalize the experience that your customers have with you. We'll put it down here. I hope you can see that.
Yes, we can see that.
Perfect. Thank you. So personalize. What do I mean? I mean adding that human touch to your interaction, adding that extra wow thing, the wow factor for your customers. And they don't have to be very complicated things. They can be very simple things. So I remember when I was working in a hotel, we had a couple that came to check in, and they were staying in London to go to a Bruno Mars concert. And we didn't have time to buy some merchandise for them. They were really big fan of Bruno Mars. So what we did at the reception, we printed a nice card for them that was saying, enjoy the Bruno Mars concert, with a picture of Bruno Mars. And almost as a joke to make them laugh as well, we bought some Mars bars, so the chocolate Mars bars, because Bruno Mars bars. So, and we put them in the bedroom, and they loved it so much. It was just a small gesture. We didn't spend much money as well. But they loved it. They loved the chocolate. They loved the fun behind the idea. And they felt that that was a special thing that we did just for them, was unique to them. And something else that you can do is, of course, be proactive. Be proactive, and for sure you will delight your customers. We'll put it down here. So being proactive means that when you hear something that the customer is saying, when you hear about a preference, something that they like, make sure that you include that in the service. Make sure that you remember that. I want to tell you about another story, and then I think that there will be a little break. So this happened to a friend of mine. He is a trainer as well, and he was training in Oxford, and he went to a bed and breakfast. And when he checked in, there was a lovely lady that asked him, what did he want for breakfast the day after? And he said he loves mushrooms. So he said, I would love some bacon and mushrooms. And the lady apologized and said, I'm sorry, we don't have any mushrooms available today. So he was a bit disappointed, but he had something else for breakfast. And a few months after, he had another training there in Oxford, and he liked the bed and breakfast, so he stayed at the same bed and breakfast. And the same lady was there to check him in. And when he checked in, she said, oh, we knew that you were coming, so we made sure to have some mushrooms in stock for you so you can have them tomorrow for breakfast. And my friend was blown away. He said, how did she remember that? Now, I don't know if she remembered that or if she maybe wrote it down. She wrote his preference down. So he was just blown away by the fact that she remembered. She proactively proposed mushrooms for breakfast, and she proactively said, don't worry, we have mushrooms for you this time. And how can you surprise customers in a social distancing situation where this contact with the people is not possible? So I want to share another story with you. This happened in the US. It happened in Washington, D.C. And there was a shop which is called Who's Shoes Shop. And there was a family that had been going to that shop for 14 years, but just once a year for Mother's Day. As a treat for the mom, they were going there, choosing the shoes for her just on Mother's Day. And during the pandemic, because of social distancing, they were very concerned about going to the shop and seeing other customers. They decided not to go for this year. I think it was this year and the last year. So they phoned the shop just to say, I'm sorry, we won't be coming this year to pick up my mother's shoes. And there was a brilliant guy there, Eric, which he proactively said, don't worry, you just pick the shoes that you want and I will deliver them to your place. And these customers were blown away. They were treated as VIPs, even though they were just customers that were going there just once a year. They were not buying shoes every day or every week, just once a year. But this treatment made them feel very special, very, very special. And last story, this is about me, and then I guess it's time for break. So what happened to me is that even if I was not a customer, I still received a great service. So this happened recently. I wanted to print my business cards, and this has been a nightmare for me because uh, I couldn't go to a printing shops to see how they were printing business cards. And many places that I contacted, they didn't even reply to me, or they replied and gave me like very expensive prices for something that was not what I was looking for. So I decided to go with this online printing company, which is called moo.com. And I was just trying to see if there was something that could fit what I needed. But I didn't make any purchase. And a couple of days after, I received a call from one of their customer service representative. I mean, I didn't make a purchase with them, but maybe they knew that I was looking at their websites, looking at business cards. So this guy Andrew, he asked me if there was anything that I needed. He said, like, let me know if there is anything you're unsure about. I can like recommend you something for your business card to make sure you have whatever you need, something that you're happy with. And bear in mind, guys, that I had never bought from them, but they made me feel special. They made me feel important, that they care about me. And they wanted me to go ahead and purchase with them. So I hope that you can make something from these stories and have some ideas yourself. And Nedi, let me know if it's time for the break yet.
Yes, absolutely. But before that, amazing, amazing stories. Our audiences especially love the mushroom story, and so
Thank you.
did I. Amazing. It's always good to hear the real life examples and the stories, so to say. So, guys, please ask your questions in the questions tab. I can see a few people asking in chat. This way, the questions can get lost, and you will never be able to get an answer. And with that, we will have to take a quick break. And I would like to give a quick shout out to Design Hill, world's leading creative marketplace, for organizing this event. Um, Please also take the event screenshot and put it on Twitter, as we have already suggested you at the beginning of this session. So let's take a quick break and keep this interacting session going on.
Clarematics is a full-service video agency based around video production. We created a brand that fit our identity at the time, but as we've evolved as a company, we found that that original brand didn't quite fit our aspirations anymore. Finding a partner to rebrand your entire company takes a lot of time and effort. Finding Designhill was an incredible lifeline. Designhill offers a money-back guarantee. If we don't like any of the designs, we get all of our money back. The stuff that we ended up with were well beyond what we had been seeing on other creative services platforms. After creating a simple design brief by answering some questions created by Designhill, we posted, and within a few days, we had over 250 entries. Designhill's platform made it easy to communicate with all the potential designers. Eventually, we picked a winner. In addition to a logo, our designer also created a letterhead, business cards, and banners for all of our social media platforms. With Designhill's help, we now have a brand that meets our aspirations. We're ready for the future and everything that it's here to bring.
All right, over to you, Sarah, again.
Perfect. Thank you. And I'm just sorry I didn't get the chance to read all the comments. I can see people tuning in from all over the world. Thank you guys for being here. I hope that we can answer your questions. But feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, to email me if you have any questions. I will be happy to answer them. So let's go to the final part. So we have about 10-12 minutes for this. The final part of this webinar, where we will talk about complaints and different types of customers' personalities. And I'm sure that each one of you had to deal with a complaint from customers at least once at work in your life. And there are some steps that you can take to make sure that you deal with the complaint in a more efficient way. I will list a couple of examples here. But as I said, there is a course that I do about handling difficult people and how to deal with customers' complaint. And Nedi kindly put the link here on the screen for you. So let me start with the first one. what can you do? For sure, if you listen to what the person is saying, to what your customer is saying, this will make them feel heard. So first step is listen. The second tip that I can give you, or step that you can take, it's especially if your customer is angry or frustrated, let them vent for a few minutes. Let them talk and get everything out of their chest so they will be much more calm to deal with. So let them vent for a couple of minutes. Then after that, something that not many people say, it's apologizing. So many people, when many employees, when they're facing a complaint, they don't say sorry to their customers. By saying sorry, they will already feel that you're there to help them, that you're not just dismissing them, just that you don't care about them. And this will be very important. And the last step, of course, is asking some questions. As I said, gather information so that you can give the right solution to the complaint. I will put it here, questions. And I think it fits, yes. However, the difficult bit when dealing with customers' complaint is that people react to situations and behave in a different way. And because this is because of their personality. Everybody has a different personality. So for you to handle the complaint efficiently, for you to really understand your customer, you need to adapt to their personality. You see this little scheme here. There are many models about personalities, but the one that I like, it divides them into 4 main categories. Let's see if I have enough space here. So the first one is the thinker. The second one is the director. Then you have the socializer. And the fourth one is the amiable. So as you can see on my left side, the 2 personalities on my left side are more on the introvert side, the more quiet, the more cautious. In a social distancing situation, these are the people that will be more concerned about their safety, about the risk when they go somewhere. Where on the right-hand sides, these 2 personalities are more on the extrovert side. There are people that like to feel important. They are more dynamic type of personalities. And now let's talk about the top 2. So the thinker and the director. These are the more logical type of personalities. The people that like to hear facts, reasons, numbers. Where at the bottom, you will have more emotional people, people that are people person, that let their decision be carried by feelings. And I will move just this a little bit so you can see
Okay,
it's
Sarah,
centered.
sorry to interrupt you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
But I can't see you. I just want to ask audience if they can see Sarah and her screen
Oh,
properly.
okay.
Okay. So you can see Sandy. So there must be some issue with my internet connection.
Oh,
So
okay. But you
wanted
can
to
see
know
me,
if
right?
can't see you right now, but the rest of the people can, which means that the connection for them is right.
Oh,
I'll just
okay.
get my connection fixed, and you can continue, please.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So, um, so we were talking about the last 2 personalities. So as I said, more carried by emotions. So let's see what motivates them. So the thinker is the type of person that it's motivated by information. So this will be the people that like details, that will ask you a lot of questions because they are details oriented. They want everything to be precise, to be perfect. And this type of personality, when complaining, they like to follow the rules and they will expect you to follow the rules as well. So if you put on your website, if via email you said that you have social distancing in place, that the staff is wearing the masks, they will expect exactly that. So they will complain if these things are not in place. And they like to be treated fairly. So please don't give them excuses. Don't try to take advantage of them. They will not like that. On the other side, the director. So the director is the type of personality that it's motivated by something that is done quickly. So if they are complaining to you, they will not like to hear any excuses. I know that many places are short of staff because of COVID, because of the pandemic. They will not like to hear that from you. So don't say something like, I'm sorry, there is a delay because you are short of staff. They will for sure be behaving even worse. And please don't be aggressive with this type of customers. They are usually very loud type of complainer. They will like be very loud when complaining to everyone that is listening to them. So don't be aggressive, because they will tend to be even more aggressive with you. Sure, you've seen it. And actually, if you want, you can go ahead and put in the chat, what type of personality do you think you are? I can see that Sandra
They've
put, I'm a
already started
thinker.
sharing that. They've already
Yeah,
started sharing. A lot of people are saying they're the thinkers or they're the directors.
the
That's
director.
good. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And usually, not many people know, but what kind of personality do you think it's more difficult for you to deal with? Usually will be the opposite of your personality. So I'm a socializer, and for me, I'm a very like bubbly person, explosive person. For me, very quiet people, like thinkers, are very difficult to read. So with the director, I was saying, they are motivated by quick solutions. So the best thing when they're complaining, listen to them, acknowledge their complaint, and tell them exactly how you're going to solve it in a very quick and straightforward way. For sure, they will appreciate you not wasting their time. Um, then the socializer, as I said, this is my personality. We are people that like to talk about ourselves, talk a lot. We like to be listened. So if you have a socializer with you that is complaining, usually they are quiet type of complainers, so they will not usually be angry. But if something goes very wrong, they lose their temper very quickly, so they will react probably like the director. They will lose their temper and start to be very loud. So let them vent. Here you go. Let them talk a lot. Let them talk. Let them get everything out of their chest. And usually this type of personality is very creative, so most likely they will have a solution already. They will already have a solution to propose to you, and please go ahead and give them that solution if it's something that you can do within the policies in your workplace. Otherwise, you can give them some alternatives, but let them talk. They will appreciate that, and then they will want to know how you're going to make things right for them. And the last personality, so the amiable. The amiable values consistency. So they choose places that they know that they can trust. They have their favorite barber, their favorite hotel where to go and stay, their favorite restaurant, because they know that they can trust these people. So give them amazing service. Go above and beyond for them. These are the people that want to be heard, want to see that you care about them. The issue with the amiables is that they are very quiet type of people, cautious, quiet, introvert. So most likely when they have a problem, they will not tell you directly. They will not come and shout at you like the director, but you probably will have to read in between the lines. They will make maybe a comment about, I don't know, like, imagine that you are in a cafeteria and you serve them without the mask. They will probably make a comment about that because they will not like their coffee being prepared by someone without a mask, or their food being handled by someone without gloves. So they will maybe make a comment about that, and you have to read between the lines. If they don't make any comment, if you see that the person is very quiet, ask them, get them to talk, ask for their feedback. So ask, how is dinner going? Are you enjoying your stay with us? Try to encourage them to give you feedback, because they will appreciate you reaching out, and this will show them that you care about them, and this will show them that you can be trusted as a business. So of course, not all of the complaints or not all the people will fall into these four categories. But if you're like exercising at recognizing this type of people, this for sure will help you understanding your customers more. And so we reached the end to this webinar. I just wanted to share my screen one last time.
Yes.
And this will be just the last thing that I share. So let me just switch to my presentation again. Should be able to see my screen. So I just
Yes.
wanted to thank everyone for being here today and following this webinar. Please reach out and connect to me. If you go on my website, you will see my monthly tip. So I give out free customer service and business tip every month. It's just once a month, so there will be no spam, and they will be reaching you forever. So feel free to also connect with me on LinkedIn, join my YouTube channel, visit my website, but I would like us to be connected. So thank you very much again. And thank you, Nadim.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We'll take the Q&A session, but before that, I request you to, move your whiteboard in a way that, people can take a screenshot because many of you
Yes,
asked
of
me for that.
course. Of course. There you go. I will move away so that people can see that.
Can everyone see? Okay, guys, so you have 5 seconds to take a screenshot in case if you want to. Post that, we'll move to the questions. All right, so we have 10 more minutes in our hands. So let's take a few questions that are there in the questions tab. I'm gonna, all right. So this question is by Chris Croft. Do you think, and the question will be on your screen as well, Sarah, for you to read. Do
Perfect.
you think there is always a way to surprise slash delight customers if you think hard enough about it?
Absolutely. So my friend Chris Croft is actually the friend about the mushroom story. So the mushroom story, it's his story. Yes, Chris, absolutely. There are many ways to delight customers, and you have to be very creative and you have to think about new ways every time. But you can also see what other businesses are doing as well. If you see that they offer welcome, if like hairdresser offers welcome drinks to their customers, why can't you go ahead and do the same? And like go ahead, like go around and see what other businesses are doing to take some inspiration as well.
All right. I hope that answers your question, Chris. The next question is by Sylvia. I think that social distancing is somehow now providing a great opportunity for improvement in customer service. What do you think, Sarah?
Okay, that's a very good question, actually. Just for me to understand, to make sure that I understood the question, it's if there are opportunities of improvement, or if even though there is social distancing, customer service can be great. I don't know which one of the two, but I mean, from my understanding, social distancing provides a different way to provide great customer service. Remember the story about my business cards. This is a story about social distancing, so I couldn't go to the place and see business cards. So a great way to delight me was picking up the phone and calling me. There are different ways during this time of crisis to delight customers. Even with social distancing, because now customers have different priorities. So they will see great customer service if they feel secure, as I said. So they know social distancing is in place, they know masks are in place. So they will want to see you smiling more. They will want to see you reaching out to them. Even through social distancing, there are great ways to offer great customer service. I hope that answer your question, Sylvia.
I'm sure it does, yes. So next question is by Joyce. She wants to understand risk assessment for customer service that we may apply in the future.
So risk assessment is something that usually you do to make sure that your business or your workplace is totally secure. So that really doesn't there is not like a customer service risk assessment that you can do, and this is what I'm aware of. If anybody knows about risk assessment and customer service, please feel free to put that in the chat. But risk assessment is something that you do, all the safety measures that you take to make sure that your place is safe. For instance, there is no, like in an office usually it's like trip hazard, or making sure the shelves are like fitted properly on the wall so they don't fall on the employee's head. For customers, making sure that your customers are secure, that if they come to your barber shop, they will not be like cut by a razor, or that like something will not fall on their head while they're getting their head washed. I mean, these are the kind of things that you do, and you put in a risk assessment. You evaluate all the risks possible, and you make sure that everybody is risk safe and free.
All right, great. I hope that answer your question, Joyce. The next question and the last question probably is by Keisha. Hi, Sarah. What can introverted person do while trying to engage customers? The small talk bit is a tad difficult for me.
What can introverted person do when trying to engage customers? Yes, I understand for many people, small talk it's difficult. You don't have to exaggerate, don't go out of your personality, but if you can start with something very simple, something that you feel very comfortable. So it would be like if you're meeting a person for the first time and you want to become friend with them, what would you do in that situation? So you start just by introducing yourself, and you can say, hi, my name is Kisha. How may I assist you today? Hi, my name is Kisha. What can I do for you? And if the customer is talkative, they will start talking. So if you get a socializer like me, they will start talking, even if you give them just a little input. And I'm sure that introvert people are very good listeners. So you don't have to say many things during a small talk. Just get a couple of questions going and just listen, and I'm sure you will be a very great listeners, and this will make your customers feel heard.
Right. And I also feel that small talk, is not always a small talk. It can also be about saying the right thing in shorter period of time, right? It doesn't
Exactly.
have to be a complete tirade. If you have got like, your elevator pitch could be of 1 minute and you can say all the right things in that 1 minute.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that usually works are open questions, open-ended questions. So many people here in the UK say, are you okay? Are you okay today? And the customer can reply only yes or no. But when you say something like, tell me how was your day, or tell me how the day has been going so far,
Mhm.
that's a very good open question. And the customer, if they're willing to talk to you, they will just go on and on about their day.
All right, and we can go on and on about this presentation and this session, but this actually brings us to the end of the session. Very wonderful and value-packed session, Sarah. Thank you so much for being here. There's a lot more that we could have covered and learned. Fortunately, we are limited by time here now. I hope each one of you loved this session because I personally did. And once again, thank you so much, Sarah, for taking out time to be the part of this event. Any last thoughts or any suggestions for our attendees related to technology, courses, anything?
Sorry, from me.
Yes. Any last thoughts? I mean, how did you like the event? Do you have anything to say? Any last thoughts?
I absolutely loved it. It was great to see all of the engagement through the chat, and I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of the questions. But as I said, link with me, visit me on the website, on LinkedIn, connect with me. So I will be very happy to answer all of your questions. And thank you again, Nedi, and thank you, Designhill, for this great opportunity. I absolutely loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sarah. So, guys, this is not very tense. We have a lot more events lined up for you in the coming days. If you're interested and haven't registered yet, my colleague Harshada is sharing the link of our events page in the chat box. Please go and subscribe to the events page and stay updated on all our upcoming events. That link will be there in the chat box again. And one more thing, you can also check out our Learn page to feed your inspiration and creativity. You can multiply your business and your creative growth multifold by learning tips, hacks, and growth stories, expert advices from industry's best. So visit Design Hill Learn page and do not forget to subscribe. That's how you keep in touch all the time with us. The link will be there in the chat box again. On that note, I would like to say bye to everyone who joined us here today. Take care, guys, and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye
much. Bye.
bye. Take care.